there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Eras mod. Last time around we dealt with Mecklenburg, and we also had kind of a naval disaster at sea. With that said, I left you guys on a cliffhanger last time, so we're gonna go ahead and deal with the Austrians. As of yet, I haven't really got any feedback on the Navy stuff as of yet, on how I did the cinematic in that, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. We are rebuilding the fleet. I'm thinking, currently, I am trying to just rebuild. I am actually rebuilding the Indomitable. But otherwise, I thought it'd be nice to actually try and just recapture the ship, if possible, as they would be contained within this navy, and as the, I mean, they got another one here, but as the AI is very reluctant to actually repair its fleets, I think that should be quite easy to actually take that one down. I didn't realize that. Oh yeah, he's gonna go up and defend the fort. That's what's going on there. Otherwise, I don't think there's that much to say. The Polish army is underway. I still want to see one turn more to see if we can get a third general there, to see if we can get something interesting. But for now, let's go ahead and deal with this battle right here. Not the greatest of battles, as most of the enemy forces will come in as reinforcements. So I'll see about trying to get this over with as quickly as possible. Smash through the little defending force of armed citizenry, and then kind of spawn camp these idiots. And once that's done, we'll write them and we'll be done with it. My target is I want to go for Vienna. Now, it is heavily defended by 3 full stacks. But we have Napoleon's army, we have Davout, and of course Sul is on the way as well. Keep saying different ways of saying his last name. But none of that matters, as we now go into battle. They do not have a proper general, so I hope that we should be able to rout them pretty quickly. With that said, onwards to battle. Unfortunately, I was not able to run down the enemy as I had thought. The enemy was able to quickly move up cavalry to support the armed citizenry, so I was not able to completely overrun them. We just had 2 cavalry fights right here. One against mounted Jaegers, where my hussar absolutely slaughtered them, and a fight here against lances. A fight which I feel like only won because my general was close by to inspire them. Now the hussars are moving away, and we've got the dragoons and the cuirassiers coming up to aid in this fight. And we've got the horse-drawn artillery as well. Got perfect intersection there of 2 units moving forward. So if we could fire a canister right there, I think we would be doing the enemy quite the damage, which we're about to fire, hopefully. This gun is ready to fire, and this one as well. Right, let's see about breaking these fools. This gun, not that interested in firing. The armed citizenry, even if they are able to fire a little bit at the start there, no match for the cavalry. The drawn horse artillery should now actually target the enemy artillery. Let's get the hussars on the same side. I can see Hungarian grenadiers marching up through the woods. My cavalry is completely dispersing the armed citizenry, but they won't be able to deal with enemy infantry hiding in the woods. We just took out a cannon there. Very good. Alright, let's withdraw the pauses, as the cavalry is now more or less spent. Or at least for a while now, as they're quite tired. Oh, the hussars are already back, ready for action. The infantry is coming out of the woods. We're gonna have to reposition these guys a little bit. And then the 3 lights. Let's order them more quickly into position. The brigade on the left, the one in the center, and then the one that's going to be right here, including Hall's Marines, which are setting up right here. We're going to have 3 infantry behind the light troops just in case. Well, the enemy is coming through the woods, so as much as I would want to continue to fire on the enemy artillery, you know what, let's continue that in fact. We'll have to deal, the infantry is coming out here. We'll have to hold back the grenadiers. It could be that the grenadiers decide to march all the way up. I think we're getting fired upon. I think the hussars are getting fired upon. There is actually an area down here where the general can set up. Heavy cavalry still winded. Not really ready to move in. Guess Hall's Marines is the one closest to come into the fight, and then we've got 2 Fusiliers. Should move up here and start to try and crest and go for the troops that are coming through the woods. Meanwhile, the artillery is set to blast the enemy's artillery, which have yet to find a good spot to set up. I'm sure also we are bouncing through a lot of these units, killing loads as we go along. We are losing some, okay, quite a lot actually. 1 gun is now out of action. I can't do much at this range though. Let's see about at least see if we can get the guys in the woods there to focus on something else by bringing the hussars around. They are grenadiers entrenched in the wood, so now they're moving, which is only bringing them closer to my guns. Hall's Marines firing here with German line infantry. They're also aided by the light troops. I want the enemy to continue marching forward here. I also got my 4-pounder, which it's obviously taking quite a bit of time to get that one into position compared to the other guns that I have. I think the 2 hussars could probably do it, striking from multiple angles. And we've already done quite a bit of damage on the enemy grenadiers. We're gonna have the 12th move in from the back and the 13th coming straight in from the side. And we're gonna go ahead and strike the enemy force. And there we go, the charge goes in. Hopefully here we can rout the Hungarian Grenadiers. We are... Hall's Marines are losing quite a bit of troops. The enemy is ordering out their troops here. Hall's Marines never seem to be doing... Or these like a bullet magnet. Or I guess it's just that the enemy apparently so bloody well good at firing compared to us. Right, hussars need to be withdrawn, as the woods are getting a little bit too hot, as there's quite a bit of enemies setting up to fire against us. Have they deployed their guns? The enemy having been fired upon have deployed the guns in a very awkward way. Which I think could probably be quite the perfect target. I'm gonna order these guys to hold fire. I want to bring this one down at sort of the right moment. To swing in hard from this hill. And shoot them all to pieces. The light troops are performing fairly well. The troops in the back have suffered some casualties. Could be that I go ahead and deploy them over to this side. Right, now when Hall's Marines is actually supported by the rest of the brigade, we are able to do quite a bit of damage onto the German troops there. We are receiving return fire from the enemy's artillery. These guns have set up and are now firing upon us. I have... okay, you're not firing at all. Also, the sound is a bit delayed, isn't it? Did I set it to? Yeah, it's set to right. This brigade is a little bit weaker. It could pull from troops here. But then also, I'm thinking... we're gonna have all the cavalry kind of heading this way. Why are you not interested in firing anymore? Did we just lose a guy from... okay, pick targets at will then. Oh, because they've lost so much crew, there's only one gun then that's ready to fire? I think if I advance this brigade, there should be no problem. But they've got one moving in right into the mess. Oh, would you look at that? We've got some moving up on the troops on our hill. Gonna stand no chance, and soon enough the cannon will be setting up as well. Ready to send fire down upon the enemy. However, we're receiving fire as well. Quite a bit of troops in the woods, which I don't like. If I pull these back, try and reorganize them to come against the woods. You know what? The heavy cavalry is going to have to set up to go against these, while the hussars come around to set up behind and strike them from over there. Right. The guns should be able to take these guys' place as these two move forward. Actually, the entire brigade will move forward. Hopefully this gun should be able to fire above them into this mess. Yeah, I'm not sure you're interested to fire anywhere right now. I guess it's danger close for this unit as we're firing right above it. I think we fired through it. Yeah. It did upset all the troops here quite a bit. I wonder if we could, if it would be enough. Or if I'm hitting them too soon here. But they're turning, that's not good. Oh, they're turning again, lucky me. That's on the hill. And now the hussars come in. These guys not very happy at all. All the cavalry's come in, these guys. If I can break these two, then that is gonna help a lot. Breaking that, yep, the brigade forward now. I want the troops in the back to come through The cavalry is going to have to stick it out. And I think we might... Oof. We're... there's one guy that's rallied there. Or if we... I guess he's always been standing there. The lights will now hold fire. As we got these 3 units coming through, ready to fire at will. We're getting fired upon from the flank over there. So we'll move back. And the cavalry is concentrating on this one unit. And I think there's tons of enemies running in the back here as well. The enemy holds on surprisingly well, given the circumstances. Cavalry is starting to get really tired here. But then also the enemy does not have a lot left in them. I think even if the hussars are really tired here, they could probably go for the armed citizenry and break them before this day is done. Alright, the troops are gone. Hussars go after that. Heavy cavalry. Cavalry has lost quite a lot, but touching onto this one just a little bit. Yes, I do realize they're fatigued, but the battle is soon over. The enemy does not have a lot left in them. Let's continue forward there, maybe even a bayonet charge. Ooh, these guys are forming square or they're forming line to face us. Alright, heavy cavalry, get out of there. Holds Marines in a pretty perfect line here to fire upon the enemy. The Hussars actually having quite the difficulty to break down the arms. It's in there, they finally go. Alright, all cavalry over there. You suffered quite heavily as we marched up here. Guess we're not laying down enough fire on here. Are these guys multiplying? I thought there was only 2 of them. Suddenly there's 3. He's given way now. That means that we can have 6 units now marching in to deal with these, while the cavalry heads away. And I mean, you should be able to fire at this point, shouldn't you? The light troops move up behind. Move to face the enemy more clearly. It looks like he's targeting that one. I think this one's probably better to target. And if I target this guy, there's a risk of friendly fire going onto the cavalry. But he's now broke, so fire on this one instead and see if we can't break him. And then we'll be lining up something like this. Oh, you're facing an enemy over here, actually. A lot of them are rallying. I don't know how they are rallying when they don't even have a proper general to give them the morale boost needed for that. The AI is cheating. The bastards. But as we can see, the battle is coming to a close. At this point, there's no way they're going to be turning it around. They're just delaying the inevitable here. Where we'll soon enough have total control of the battlefield. So I will, already now, declare this a victory. Here's the result of the battle. The enemy deployed about 5,000 men against our 3,000. We lost 1,300 to their 4,400, leaving us with 2,000 men after the battle, and the enemy with only around 500. Interesting to note here, there's very few friendly fires throughout this battle. Normally that could be quite high. In this one, there's only 34 friendly fires. In terms of who killed what, the Dragoons do the most at 600 kills, followed by the Cuirassiers at close to 500, then the Hussars. Then we actually have a Fusilier of the Line killing 307. The only named unit here, of course, is the Marines, which end up at 238 through this battle. And with this, we have taken control of Croatia, which of course is not a real country, so there's nothing to liberate. No, I don't know why. I guess, I don't know. They didn't put that in, clearly. With that, we have taken control of a lot. Oh, I completely forgot here. We do have the Austrian Navy situated in port here. But I don't know, is it actually a good strategy to force the Austrian Navy out when I don't even have a navy of my own? Having them roaming around is probably not a good idea, but with taking over Croatia, I just took over the big supply depot down here. So with that, we will get a really high supply, which will prepare us a lot for the attack towards Vienna. Since it's rather a large battle, I'm contemplating... There's so many Austrian forces everywhere. I'm contemplating what to do next. Let's go ahead and end turn and see, though, if we may be able to choose a general for the Polish army. This was not on my bingo card. The Portuguese have decided to go against me and declared war. The British money, I guess, can buy everything. Then again, it's between, you know, what loyalty keeps Portugal in check, our steel, or a check written by the British. In this case, clearly, Britain can write pretty big checks. Let's see if they can cash it. Grouchy will have to fight the Portuguese and the British at the same time, which will be quite the task. And something you know, going into Spain or just this region in general is such a headache, an ulcer. It's a continuous problem for me, a liability. If I could sink the peninsula, I would. Well, that was not... I already said about my bingo card, but... I did not realize the Genoa was raided? Oh, by the enemy navy. General available. Nicolas Ordinaut. And bloody Portuguese. Bloody Portuguese. More cavalry being recruited. They have one full stack. They've got one army protecting this bridge, and they've got troops protecting their port. Why? The Netherlands is still at war with Great Britain, right? Yeah, they are at war with each other. I don't know why they do not want to join me in the battle against these. Like, before we had a chance. The British army that came through here has disappeared into the hills. I need to beat the Portuguese fast before they get any more troops, but at the same time, if I leave Madrid undefended, then I'm pretty sure the British army coming down is gonna break that. Should maybe build a fort there. More cannons. Well, Grouchy doesn't get any further than to Madrid. I mean, the British have only one. They're only heading one way, and that is to Madrid. We'll have to beat the bloody British here again. Well, clearly I can't leave Portugal to be its independent nation. Clearly they cannot be allowed to be an independent nation. All that cavalry. Some of this cavalry. Oh yeah, some of the cavalry I recruited to be somewhere else. I don't know where that cavalry went. I should have actually checked where I recruited those. I recruited them down here, which means they were probably heading this way, which means that some of these guys, which are kind of guard cavalry, should probably stay in Paris. And then the Lancers, 2 Lancers, and then the 28th Dragoons should be heading that way. You should be heading to take control of the port and keep it out of the hands of the Sardinians. And then we got all these Fusiliers that were really supposed to be going aiding Napoleon against this, but now as we got more and more troops, I feel like we need to garrison up Madrid quite a lot, so I'm sending them that way instead, as we already got 3 armies here and really good replenishment rate. Right, the battle for Vienna is going to be another video, because I feel like the video is going to be too long if I do that. What we're going to do though is we're going to bring these 2 forces up to the bridge and take control of that. You are going to head out of town and going to deal with these guys, which will run away that way. We will stay within our territories, we'll stay within Croatia, but then Sul will be heading down to Belgrade and the Balkans, which could be a disaster because we'll get into a border with the Ottoman Empire and they might be ready to declare war on us. Maybe I should formalize an alliance in between us to make sure that they do not change their mind like some others do. Bloody hell. If my vassals can turn against me, that brings an entirely new light onto all these shit little German states. Anyways, time to select a general then for this army. Clearly the one with the most stars is Bon-Adrien Genot de Montserrat, or Moncey. Not entirely sure how you pronounce that. We'll call him Bon for short. That's easy enough to say. He's also the most expensive general, so he'll be in charge of the Polish army and be sitting here. As we kind of got a disaster down here, I don't want to start another one by going against the Prussians, so we'll hold on off on that a little bit. And what am I going to do? Well, a lot of these need to be redirected to the force. Is that Swedish Navy that's embargoing my port? Luckily though, sea trade is not a big income for me, so that does not matter much. Right, these 2 are more or less ready to go. The thing is, going through here is probably quite risky going against the Prussians. It's probably better for us to go through here. It's a closer distance. And perhaps I can strike two birds with one stone, since I'm able to march. The Mecklenburg region reaches all the way up through here, which means I could situate an army here, which could strike here, and we can strike there simultaneously. We'll be heading back to Mecklenburg and setting up our armies there. But you need to keep a check on all these smaller states. They could revolt against me. Right. What else is there to do? The spy needs to come through. We do have a lot of troops here. This army needs to be figured out. How long until there's 2 more turns and all the Italians are ready? Plus the cavalry. They've got 3 cannons. They're gonna get 3 cavalry. They're gonna get 2 infantry. They just need 1 more then. Well, there's another cavalry on the way, so they've got 4 cavalry. Great. Right. Oh, the Portuguese are sending a force by navy. Where are they going? I wonder. Where are the Portuguese landing? Are they seriously not gonna march through land and land? Huh. Not having a proper navy is definitely a problem for me, since my enemy can land all along the coast, especially blasted British. We started way too late to start building a navy. I do have a port here, actually, where we could build quite the force. Now, carronade ships, they have really good firepower. Problem is, they don't have the range, I imagine. So we would have to get quite close. Maneuverability for them, though, is high. That's pretty good. 8 turns, though. But once I get close, I'll smash the enemy navy. I guess we can end 1 more turn. And just try to avoid battle, and we'll leave that for the next video. Right, all technology, anything close? We've got this one coming in. Limited liability company, which will increase... I'll be able to upgrade the trade ports to the next level. I've put all the research centers on kind of high technologies that will take a long time, because there's a lot of other technologies that I can research, but they will give like minus points in happiness, and I don't want to face, you know, military difficulties as well as having problem keeping the empire in under control. Like currently the worst one is Croatia, and even that one was recently taken over. It's got 16 plus, even with just recently been taken over. I don't know what the Austrians were doing to the Croatians, the crustaceans, but clearly nothing good. Anyways, let's go ahead and end turn. Path blocked. Right, you're not going over anyways. So, technology advance. Very good. Agent detected. They detected our agent even in our own territory. They have a tendency to detect them. Right. Young Guard cannons. Ah, the Invincible. That is Youngban's ship. Has come online. Wonderful. Wrong port. It's up here. So now I have 3 ships. 106 gun ship. Problem here is though that the British have combined the 2 fleets. I wonder if I can actually see one. There's one of mine. The Redoubtable. The Redoubtable is supposed to be a 74 gun ship, so it's lost 20 guns. We are nowhere near able to take those guys on. However, these two ships... Oh, the Portuguese have landed! And they've landed right next to this area. Does this have a fort? It doesn't have a fort. I will somewhat try and defend this area. I have one fencible in the port, which I can bring in. And then we got the British up here, which Grouchy has to face. It's not an important army though, as I can see, because there's no general. And I'd hate to take a load of time out of an episode to deal with those guys. The Portuguese though, I need to kind of humiliate in a battle to make sure that they don't rise again. Right, all the militias have arrived to almost all the destinations. We got all the cavalry now turning up, joining in with this force. And all we need now is for, oh yeah, the dragoon. And then the two guys out here, the Fusiliers. They went around the town. Go through the town. That'll probably save me loads of time. Make it down to Madrid. We definitely need to boost the area here. Bloody Portuguese bastards. Bloody bastards. Right. At the same time, you are now fully ready. I will stop right at the bridge. I noticed there's a full stack here. And there's a full stack right here. So let's not try to end up in a bad position. So set up here. Defend that, and then we go against this. And then the defense is kind of light here, as the Austrians have been moving against the Prussians. They've been moving back and forth against each other here. So we'll be able to slip across and attack this force and hopefully take that pretty readily in the next episode. Or whatever I decide for my next episode. Currently I've got a lot of armies, or 3 of them, kind of in waiting for an attack on the Prussians. Once the Prussians turn on us, we'll be ready for them. But I would like to advance a bit more against the Austrians, and then I would also like to find more of a permanent solution down here. Maybe I should post up an army somewhere along here so I can take them on at the beaches. The Dutch Navy is moving around. Not to any target that I know, because they bypassed each other here. I don't know, they probably paid off by the British as well. Is there anyone that's not paid off by the British? Right. Anyways, what we're looking at right now is we hold 26 territories, which means that I need another 14, which is not a lot, you would think, but as we... Oh, what is the Danish army doing down here? They are moving down. Could they be moving down? God knows where they're heading. We have a lot of problems rearing their heads. The twist of the Portuguese breaking the vassalage and attacking me doesn't bode well, because I've got a lot of vassals. Having them turn against me, leaving armies stranded like these two up here, would be completely stranded if all of these guys turned on us. I guess we were... the Portuguese figured we were far enough away with so little troops that they could go ahead and do this little switcheroo, compared to a lot of these where the armies are pretty close. But still, something to keep an eye on. And probably as we continue forward here, formalize a proper alliance with the Ottomans, so once we get a border with them, they do not see an opportunity to strike at us. With that though, we're not going to get any further this episode. So, what I'll say is what I always say. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this, and hopefully, I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.